So welcome, Peter, and thank you for being here. It's always such a privilege and honor to host you, to share space with you, and thank you for doing that in the most magnificent way that you always do.
Thank you. My pleasure, by the way.
So, I thought that it would be meaningful to share with our listeners in terms of this holistic model of coaching. And I'll just share a little context to it, is that there are so many coaching schools. And I always share with people who call in to inquire that all of them are doing a fantastic job. Because if they've been certified by ICF or accredited by ICF to run a program, they definitely meet the whole competency framework of coaching, and that's what's required also to be a great coach. And at the same time, and I always share with them, is that it's the philosophy, and if that's something that you resonate with, then that's really, I find, as a decision-making matrix as to how do you select the school that you want to go to become a professional coach. And the way that I've experienced Coach for Life myself is that it's so much more than just coaching. For me, I say I become a coach for my own life, thanks to Coach for Life. It's just a way of living. And I think a lot of that rests on the holistic model that you have created and you bring to the world, the frameworks, the philosophy, beyond what coaching stands for. The client as whole, complete, and resourceful. But there's so much more that you bring to it. So I thought that it would be meaningful to share with our listeners from you directly a little bit, just a little bit, not to divulge the whole thing, but just a little about these core models, frameworks, and philosophy that you bring through Coach for Life.
Thank you, Amrita. Yeah, for me, the core of coaching and the core of our coaching philosophy is how do I, as a individual human being, become a better human being to create a better space, more compassionate space, open space for my client to do the work that they're ready to do. And so I can't do that if I don't have my own self-mastery. If I'm still judging myself, if I am still hard on myself inside my body, my mind talk. Oh, there you go, Peter, you're screwing up again, right? That kind of, that's not particularly supportive for me, and it's not particularly supportive to my client, because I tend to see what is not resolved in me in my outside world. And as a professional coach, my outside world is my client in front of me right now. The more that I heal myself, the more that I am compassionate with my humanity, then I will bring that ultimately unconsciously to my client. So the sense of holisticness for me is the client will bring stuff that they want to talk about. Their goals, their aspirations, their challenges, their issue of the day. And that, for all coach training companies, is pretty easy to handle. And they'll talk about the stuff. How do you ask questions about the stuff? The external components of what the client's going through. Coach for Life for the last 25 years has also included as just as important as what's going on inside the client. Who are they as a human being? How are they treating themselves or want to show up as themselves? Their core self is what I call it. For this particular situation, goal, challenge, conversation, tough negotiation, whatever's going on in their performance and results side of the external topic of the day. What's going on internally? So some people distinguish this as the doing and the being. Okay, so most people in the world are real happy with the doing. Yep, I got it. I want action steps. I want 3 action steps. Good. Whoop, I'm done.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wait a minute. That's not holistic, by the way. If you just concentrate on the doing, then we've missed an entire platform of exploring the who of the being, the being of the human being. And so I approach it from a very spiritual standpoint. I think we're, spiritual beings having a human experience, and that's in our model very clearly. But even if you don't, and regardless of how you hold that, by the way, the sense of spirituality or non-spirituality, there is a human spirit in every human being. There is a spark. There is something in there that is driving them, motivating them, inspiring them to do their best, be their best, regardless of the topic at hand, regardless of who's in front of them, whether it's their son, spouse, employee, boss, neighbor. And so we do account for all of that. And it's important that we do, because coaching is not just designed for performance and results. It includes that. It's important. I don't disclude that or don't include that in our training. But there's so much more in terms of the internal part of the person that, frankly, has been ignored for the last 20 years of their career. Yeah, we don't care what your emotions are. Just do the work and do more of it. Thank you very much. And go home and deal with that other stuff. I mean, that is still very too prevalent, I think, in our world today. So it's a deep dive into our humanity on a one-by-one basis that is spectacularly successful with the fulfillment coaching model, which is the model that you referred to that I've been teaching for the last 25 years.
Yeah, and I just love the coaching the human spirit. I think that's really what makes me feel so fortunate to be able to engage with this work. I think having received it, learned it, and taking it forward in this manner, I think this is the only profession where the more and more I'm in touch with my human spirit, the more I'm able to coach the human spirit. And really, I thank you for bringing that to my world and to the lives of so many people. We're blessed thanks to your presence.